After the ball is over, after this game is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pen, Hook, and Needles Podcast, episode 160. It is not Monday. It is Sunday, June 21st, Father's Day.
Yep.
Happy Father's Day to anyone who's watching who is a father.
And I guess it must be in Britain as well because Dan had something on his Instagram about Father's Day. So unless they're I don't know if that's just an American holiday or not.
Oh, it's not just an American holiday.
I mean,
but
for the States.
I don't know if it's just today for that. But anyway, happy Father's Day to those of you who are fathers or grandfathers or godfathers or whatever. Whether or not you are celebrating, because Father's Day, it's important to recognize dads.
Yes.
We want to welcome.
So who are you?
Oh, do I have to say that now?
Well,
can I just pull a?
No.
Oh, okay. I am Marlecia, also known as Lady Fernico, on Ravelry and Plurk and all over the place, unless it's my writing sites where I'm either Marlecia or Shadowlight or Shadowlight 1.
And my name is Talia. I'm also known as Princess and Gypsy all over the interwebs.
Okay, we want to welcome all new and returning viewers. Thank you for joining us. We're glad that you can make some time for us and spend some time with us with your knitting and crocheting or whatever it is you're doing, spinning, whatever. We do want to welcome some new members who have joined us officially. We want to welcome Jessie at home. Jessie at home, who is Jessie. Welcome, Jessie. Fairy Little, who is Marsha, and they have a podcast. I think it's called Fairy Little Things, and they're sort of new, and they're really. It's a sister duo. Marsha and her sister. I think her name is Priscilla, and they travel all over the place. The first one that I caught, they had just returned from Ireland, and it was very interesting to watch. So you might want to check them out. I think if you go to Fairy Little, you'll be able to find her podcast, because I apologize, I don't remember the name of it. I only watched it once, but it was very good. And then we have Knit Crochet Love, who is Debbie. Welcome, Debbie. Polly Apple, who is Polly. Welcome, Polly. And Half Past 92, who is Robin, who just made it into the wire. And she also has a podcast.
It's Stitching Between the Pages.
And it's relatively new?
I'd say maybe a month, maybe two.
Mm-hmm.
She now has a podcast group for her podcast. So
we're glad.
And she's doing a read along with the Bookish Knitter.
Right. Okay. I've been trying to find hers, but I kept forgetting the name of the podcast, so I'll get it from Talia later. So we want to welcome all our new and returning viewers, as we said, especially these new ones who have signed into the group. If you are still in the shadows, please join us. We are preparing for a 500 club giveaway. 500 member.
You said
giveaway.
that yesterday too.
Well, it's in the works now, though.
Yeah, but you still called it 500 Club.
Oh, 500 Club. Yeah, I did. That's because my writing is 500 Club. 500 member, I almost call them 500 words.
Each one of you members is a word.
Yes. And some of you are little A's, and some of you are supercalifragilistic. No, that wouldn't work. No, never mind. Scratch that. Anyway, we are preparing something for a 500 member giveaway. So if you are in the shadows, please sign in officially, if you will. Join us officially. There's lots of fun that we do, and there are prizes that can be won, as you know if you watch us. And if you're new to us, I'll let you know that we do these kind of things, and we'd love to have you officially with us so you can take part of it and officially and have a chance at the prize.
Are you trying to see how many times you can say officially?
Officially is the name of this podcast. No, this episode.
Well, write it down somewhere, because I will not remember.
I don't have anything to write with.
You're supposed to be
Don't even, no. I'll explain that later. Anyway, I'll get something later. If you want to make another plug, especially since one of our members had made a hat, and she was unsure about where to give it as a charity and asked for suggestions. I did suggest on the board, but I want to reiterate that
You made me tear my nice book.
the June challenge, B-Wings Group Comforting Crafts, she has monthly challenges, and June's challenge, which is almost finished unless she extends it, is looking for dishcloths and hats for adults, I think, men and women hats and scarves. And it's prison ministry. I have been rushed all morning because my husband's alarm didn't go off, which means that we were running late this morning before Mass. So I'm a little, discombobulated, yeah.
You made me tear my nice notebook.
Uh-huh. I didn't make you do anything. Did I do anything? I didn't touch her.
It.
I didn't do anything.
The notebook is weeping tears.
On my kitchen floor. They can clean my floor.
I'm
Anyway.
not sure tears from pages would
be
clean
enough?
anything.
Yeah. Okay, so
I think it cries ink.
So anyway, I was trying to say in that very disjointed fashion, if you have hats or scarves that or dishcloths that you're looking to give to charity and you don't know where to go, I think Brittany is still collecting for the prison ministry, and I know they have different challenges every month. So you might want to put her on your list of charities if you're looking for a charity to give things to. And there is information, I believe, in our show notes. Isn't there? Are you still cutting and pasting in my show notes?
Yes.
Okay, so there will be a link to, and you can always ask B-Wing who's Brittany.
Now, I didn't link that because that came up with a weird website
Oh.
that I didn't recognize.
Okay. All right, so just...
I just haven't linked to the group, I believe.
Okay, and Brittany as well, so...
Yeah.
Okay, another promotion, well, I'm not going to do that. I'll do that when I hit it.
Autism awareness?
Autism awareness. We have one more week, a little more than a week, to do autism awareness for the prizes, and we have a ton of prizes this time around.
Actually, we skipped a section.
What?
What's in your mug?
Oh, I did forget what's in my mug. I'm not really in honor of Father's Day. Yes.
No, this is just because I like this mug.
Marvel in DC.
I said I was more of a DC girl, and then we came home and saw that Mom had the exact same mug except Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Mine's cooler.
No.
And this is my favorite Robin anyway, the Dick Grayson Robin, because
this may be Wolverine, but I'm sorry, people. Hugh Jackman is Wolverine. Okay, that's just Wolverine's not 5'2". Wolverine looks like Hugh Jackman, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
Someone is obviously not a hardcore comic fan.
I am a hardcore comic fan, but
No.
Put the hand down before I heard it.
No.
Anyway,
Hardcore comic fans would prefer the 5 foot something Wolverine.
he's an ancestor. You have to remember, Marvel Universe, hardcore fans know this, multi-universe. There could be a Wolverine with claws out of his head for all I know. But anyway, I like Wolverine. They don't have Jean Grey on here, but oh well.
Well, that's because it's Avengers, and Logan was part of the Avengers at one point.
Well, you know, they could have had Scarlet Witch.
They could have.
They could have had Scarlet Witch.
Maybe it's from
It looks like it's from the 60s.
Civil War.
Well, it looks like it's from the 60s.
I don't think Wolverine or Spider-Man were in it in the 60s.
Wolverine,
I mean, the artwork was
Wolverine was original.
not for Avengers.
No, but he was original. You know.
But if that's an Avengers mug. I mean, I guess if it's just a Marvel mug versus Avengers. I kind of assumed it was Justice League, but I guess Robin being in it kind of ruined it for me, Justice League.
Yeah, I think it's just, I think it's probably just people. I always forget that Spider-Man was part of the Avengers.
Well, he and Wolverine, I think, ended up being part of it around the same time, around the time of Civil War storyline.
It's amazing to me that Wolverine didn't skewer Spider-Man.
Well, the couple of comics where Batman and Spider-Man together, Spider-Man got chattiness level kind of dropped really quickly because Bruce wouldn't really talk to him, and he started calling Bruce Sir.
Yeah. Well, there's the youth there, too. I mean, Anyway, nerdydom very early here. Autism awareness. We have 3 lovely co-hosts. Emily, who is Chain of Fools, from the Cybertown podcast.
Wow.
And then Nikki 18229, who is Nicole from the Nicolo's World, and also Heidi, who is Nitty Girl.
Not Kitty Girl.
Not Kitty Girl, Nitty Girl from, because apparently I can't remember anything, Undead Yarn. I have a little bit of a headache right here, from the weather right here, and it's
Um,
confusing me.
I was
But
gonna say, like, who's the one sleep deprived?
but anyway, so I got the groups out, okay? Check the rules out in each group. They are similar to ours. Emily's and Heidi's are slightly different. They do accept, I believe, spinning and weaving and such, and they give out their prizes monthly. We are giving ours all out in one fell swoop because we don't like to go to the post office.
Yeah.
Anyway, because we love you, we go. All of our projects should be approximately 75% brightly colored, and they can be started at any time during the year. We don't care. We don't care if you finish them. We only care that you work on them during the CAL time period, which is June, well, it ends in June, April through June, April 1st through June 30th. We do have many prizes, as I said. One WIP per project per week. The FO may be posted whenever you finish it, regardless of whether you posted that WIP that week. We have a few featured patterns. Two of them are by 10 Hours or Less, where's our very own George, and they are the Braided Bright from last year and the Rounds of Rainbows CAL this year, and also Victoria Blue's Fingerless Mitts. Those will get 2 prizes for the FO only. Also, if you use Heidi Undead Yarns Autism Awareness 2015 colorway, which is very pretty, working up very pretty, in your project, that will also get 2 prizes, 2 prize chances for the finished object only.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to be kind of deep kimchi about it. But I'm sorry, I'm having a little bit of trouble with my speaking today. The
Don't
prizes,
expect me to carry this podcast.
I don't. I never do.
Wow.
Well, I don't expect you to. Eek, eek, eek,
We're podcasting.
Anyway, okay, we did mention the people who donated. I want to be a little more specific this time around. I'm not going to show you because you'll see it when we have the prizes, and we already showed it to you earlier this month. But we have 6 patterns from Anastasia Sattel from her shop, 1 for each of 6 lucky winners, and you will get to choose whatever you want.
Oh,
And
she
then
does knit and crochet now,
She does
right?
knit and crochet now, getting close to equal now, I think. And we have 1 silver shed medium wedge bag that was donated by us, 1 silver shed large wedge bag donated by Ann Brody, herself,
Who
is
is
the
Silver Shed,
proprietor.
yeah.
Yeah, she's great. And you may or may not be seeing something from her later on as well.
That's
and
all you're going to say about
That's
that.
all I'm going to say about that. 1 silver shed large wedge bag, a wonderful donation from FB1, who is Helen. That's one of our viewers. Thank you very much. Denise from the Knitting Den, Kiki Blue Bags. She donated 2 bags and 2 seeded bumper pills.
I provide
Bumper
paper
pills.
here to
I
make
have no
this up.
pen.
Find one.
I do not have one.
You
Seeded
have one
bumper
in a
pills.
project bag somewhere.
No, I do not. 2 skeins of yarn from an anonymous donor. We really appreciate that. A member. Debbie Jackson donated a $10 or less downloadable Ravelry pattern. So we are very thankful for that. We have a skein of limited edition Autism Awareness yarn from Packing Knits, who is Heidi from her shop. We have 1 skein of Skano yarn that was gifted to us from Skano. And we have 2 skeins of yarn from Undead Yarn that you will pick for 2 winners, 1 for each of 2 winners, that you can pick from what's available in her shop at that time.
Don't forget to
And I'm not. I'm glad you said something, though. And we also have 3 skeins of yarn from Emily, who's Fibertown, for 2 prizes. And then we have 2 prizes from Abby Designs. One is a tea wallet, and one is a teacup bag. Teacup bag, yes. So
And I have used the teacup bag a lot.
It is awesome.
I do need to get a tea wallet, though.
Yeah, and we are very, very grateful because you guys make it possible for us to give back, you know, for the participation and all the fun things that we get to see. Because the prizes are awesome. Yes, the projects are awesome. I've been enabled, and I've been made very happy with some of the stuff, the way that it turned out, and the colors used, and things like that. It's very, very amazing. The next CAL coming up is the Cardiac Awareness
Cardiac
Awareness Read Along.
It's not called Cardiac Awareness Read Along.
Just
It's Cardiac Read Along.
All right, Cardiac Read
This is my
Along.
baby. It's called what I want it to be called.
She doesn't want to have more words.
It sounds nicer. I just wanted to call it the Read Along initially, then I added cardiac in front of it.
Well, that's because that's what it is. Otherwise, a read along is just read.
Yeah, it's Cardiac Read Along.
It's a Cardiac Read Along, and I'm not going to say too much about that because it is her baby, but we do have already a donation from Victoria Studios of a $10 pattern from Ravelry, which is awesome. And we have a crochet red book and a knit red book. So that's the start of that. So.
And we'll talk more about that at a different time when I am not sleep deprived and it's not in the morning.
Yeah, we have a lot going on because we have to get Father's Day stuff started. You know.
And Talia wants to sleep at some point.
I think we podcasted on Mother's Day too.
Did we?
Uh-huh.
We could have.
I think we did. Okay, so
did I make sure to torch you? I hope I made sure to torch you.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Huh?
6. I have 6. How many do you have? How many rough drafts do you have?
My whips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm going to get a pen.
Yes, she is.
Okay. Be interesting.
I can't
Why
say
do
I'm
you
not
give me
awake.
your fuzz? I don't want your fuzz.
Yeah, I was wondering how long it would take you to notice that.
Okay. Go ahead. What are you working on?
I reserve the white.
The white? You reserve colors now?
I reserve the right to be whiny.
How will that be different?
No.
Spoiled bunny stomp. A spoiled bunny stomp bag.
I'm actually stuck.
You're stuck?
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, okay. Stuck. Remember
No.
from Christmas Story?
Oh, I didn't realize you said it that way. Though.
Yeah, he was stuck on the. I don't know. You must. I think everybody's watched Christmas Story. That's the one with the lamp, right? The kid with the glasses. You shoot your eye out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody's watched that. And there's that section where the kid puts his tongue on a.
But I guess I didn't remember him saying stuck like that. Anyway. Kissing Bunny's bag has a new design in it. Started just today.
This morning.
This morning, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's all I'm going to tell you about that.
Okay.
Buddy.
This in my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle bag by Silver Shed.
I
and
apologize if this is obnoxious, but I'm getting really sleepy and I need some chocolate.
You just look at my bag. My Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle bag from Silver Shed. And this is her 2X. And in it is P-Jean, the whimsical turtle, which is from the Timid Turtle pattern by Talia.
Hang on. My dove tells me stay up till the sun rises.
You already did that.
I know.
I have finished the top part of the shell, and I'm now working on the bottom part of the shell. So I'm now working on, I finished the chroma yarn. I mean, I didn't finish the ball of yarn, but I had some left. I'm trying to find it. I had this much left after the
This
shell.
color works really well with this.
Yeah, it does. This is the Knit Picks Brava Worsted, and it is, I think, the Tide Pool colorway.
I believe that is Tide Pool.
I think the other one's Tranquil. So that's what I maybe did 3 or 4 rows.
Very much your color. It's definitely going to be
it
your
is.
turtle.
Yes, my turtle. And I like doing this turtle. It makes me happy because it's bright and it's cheery and it's big enough that it doesn't hurt my hand.
It's an excuse to use chroma.
Yeah, I love chroma. I have always wanted to try chroma, and I never really wanted to spend the money. Not that it's overly expensive. It's just that if you use it in worsted, you need a lot of it. Sometimes I just want to spend the money.
Chroma is actually my preferred yarn for the shell.
I like it for the shell, and so
even if it does have a little fuzzy bits like this.
some parts of it don't look like they're plied at all.
Yeah.
But it works just fine, and I have to thank Schubert Goddess, who was my Christmas swap partner for Knit Picks this past Christmas. When I put the chrome on my list, she got me the one I used for Sammy, I think it's Red Velvet or something like that.
And Sammy's over. Come here, Sammy. What?
So you can see Shy Sammy, her shell is also chroma. And so that's the first time I used chroma. And if it hadn't been for Schubert Goddess, I might not have ever tried it, so I appreciate that.
Although you might have, since I designed it with,
I might have, but the likelihood was greater after I received it.
yeah.
So I appreciate that, and I'm enjoying it.
Okay, well, since we were talking about turtles anyway, we're going to
That's the
continue.
lady at the bookstore.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
had someone come up to me. I was sitting there in the bookstore, and I set this turtle head in front of me like that, so I could look at him while he's
Because talking to me across the table wasn't enough, apparently.
I wanted to look at his cute little face. So he was sitting looking at me like that, and I was working on the shell, and this lady stared for walked by, stopped, came back, and started asking questions about what I was making. She thought at first, I don't think she thought a turtle at first. I forget.
She thought it was a hat.
That's right. She thought it was a hat
Yeah.
because all she saw was this part.
She says, I love turtles.
And she got all excited about it. I gave her one of the Francis and Gypsy Designs cards. And she was like, she thought the white cat was a sheep at first until she looked a little closer. She's like, oh, I love sheep too. I might have to design a sheep at some point, but it's not on the
Not on the must-do.
not on the must-do quite yet. Not unless the sheep design pops into my head fully grown. But it was very fun because she then went and sat at a table at the coffee shop area just a little bit past ours, and every once in a while she'd look at my card and then turn around and ask a question.
It was really funny.
It was cute. Usually I don't get stopped when I'm working toys in public, but Timmy the Turtle pattern has been a very unusual pattern for me. It's really one of my more popular ones, which kind of surprises me, since when I was finished designing this, when I looked at it initially,
I thought
it grew on me, but at first I was like, oh, that's the ugliest toy I've designed so far.
Oh,
I was thinking adorable now.
Sammy's looking at you with this hurt expression.
But when I first finished Timmy, I looked at him and was like, well, that's not very cute. And then he grew on me, and everyone else really liked him, but initially I didn't think he was that cute of a pattern. But anyway, I actually renamed this turtle to be named Chance. Where's my hook? There it is. I didn't once I saw how the shell worked up, I didn't think that Sahara worked anymore. So his name is Chance. And
why is it Chance?
Well, your suggestion was because of the games of chance at the carnival.
And then the fact of John Wayne kind of
yeah, that kind of
solidified it.
Yeah.
There's a character in one of the John Wayne movies who was Chance.
Yes.
I forget which one it is. Was that?
That was John Wayne.
No. I forget which movie it was.
Rio Bravo.
Okay, I thought so. Yeah.
I don't even remember what his last name was. I think
They just always called him Chance.
No, his Chance was his last name because he was John T.
John T. Yeah.
T for trouble.
Yeah.
Or that's what she said. Anyway, so this is Carnival, and the head is in the orange. And I am just working my straight away. It's not going to be nearly as large as her turtle. And this is my turtle. I get to keep this turtle.
Yeah, and the one I'm making is mine. Sammy has to close her little ears, but she's going to be a pregnancy center Christmas table donation, I think. Hopefully somebody will want her. Okay, my next project is in my Funtific bag. It's my Stylish Shawl project from the Shell Shawlette pattern by Susan Hilger. And I'm using an F-hook, and the yarn is Heidi's Undead yarn in the Autism Awareness colorway for 2015. It is in the Vampiri base, which is her fingering weight. It's really soft. I love this yarn. It's so soft to work with. So I have about, I don't know, maybe 8 rows to do still on this. I may extend it. If I run out of the ball of yarn, because my gauge is always a little bigger than what's suggested, I may break into the other skein and enlarge it a little bit. So I don't know if this will be finished next week or not. But this is the top, and you can see. And I was looking at the autism thread this morning before we started podcasting. I saw Katie, who is Faithful Knitter, I think it is, Katie.
Mm-hmm.
And she was showing she's doing 2 at a time socks, one from one end and one from the other end. And it's amazing to see. It reminded me of what Ty and I looked at when we looked at the 2 skeins of yarn we bought from Heidi, how different they can look. She's making it from the same skein of yarn, but one looks a lot more pink than the other. And I think it's really interesting and fun that you can do something like that. I mean, especially for socks. I mean, people can say, you're wearing the wrong. No, they go together. They're fraternal twins. They're not identical twins. I think that's so much fun. But anyway, this is Heidi's yarn. I don't know if I think she still has 1 skein left. and she's not dyeing up anymore, I understand, until next year. And I don't know if she'll be doing the same colorway or not. But if you want that one, you might want to kind of hurry over there before somebody snaps it up.
Yes.
It's very
And she
pretty.
has a lot of cool things in her shop right now.
Yes. Oh, Heidi, I love that Cookie Monster colorway, but I'm being good, and I'm waiting for that certain colorway that you know I want.
And I'm trying to hold off. I have a bunch of festival yarn that I haven't touched. A bunch of my Indie Diary yarn that I haven't touched. So I'm trying not to buy yarn.
Oh, you said festival yarn. I'm trying to think of what colorway is festival. I didn't know she had a festival color. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm trying not to buy yarn unless it's needed for my design. Otherwise, I'm trying to work from stash.
And another thing that Heidi's got up there now that's been really hard for me to keep my hands off is she's got a gradient set. And it's really pretty. It's about 430 yards or something like that. I mean, 400 and 460, something like that. And I think it's got a couple skeins of blue and green, or yellow, green, and purple and orange, or something like that. It's like 5 or 6 skeins, and they're about 77 yards a piece, I think. And they are really pretty. They're very bright. And I was looking at that, and I was looking at the Cookie Monster. I'm like, I have to sit on my hands. I have to sit on my hands. I want the other skeins of yarn when she comes out with it. So
she's been looking forward to making Sully forever.
So Heidi, you're killing me here. Okay.
Killing me, Smalls.
Slow death. Heidi knows we love her. Yes. Anyway, moving on.
A quick note. Wearing my Messalina.
I'm not wearing anything handmade today because I'm too warm. I mean, I'm cold, but I'm too warm for that. I have an Avengers mug.
Mine's cooler.
If by cooler you mean
More
more
awesome.
grumpy. Grumpy people. Look at the grumpy people on that.
Flash is never particularly grumpy, neither is
Who?
Robin.
Flash?
Yeah.
I don't see Flash. Where is he?
He's right next to
Oh,
Robin.
yeah, Flash.
I mean, I know it's Barry instead of Wally because
Yeah.
for it to be the Dick Grayson Robin, it can't be a Wally West Flash.
The only one who looks less grumpy, Robin always looks smiley, but the only one who looks less grumpy than sometimes is Wonder Woman.
Yeah, she is actually really pretty
Yeah,
there.
it's a really nice picture of her.
Um,
They don't have any females on this one, which is annoying. I'm not a feminist at all. I was just want to balance it out a little.
you know, she's the female representative for both mugs, and she could take every single guy on the mug down.
Including Superman.
I think she'd be a little bit hard pressed with Superman.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, she's carried Thor's hammer before, so.
Well, that's something different though. That's not strength.
But I mean that she can handle Thor.
Yeah.
Anywho, next project I'm going to talk about.
Hulk is the issue. Hulk.
Yes, he would be the issue. I think the only one who could maybe handle him is Superman, and even then that would be a bit tough.
Yeah. He's a little psychotic.
Yeah. Green Lantern might be able to if he doesn't let.
Well, if you don't get within arm's reach of him.
Yeah. Well, the only one who can fight him without getting within arm's reach are Green Lantern and.
Jean can do it.
Yeah, but these.
Yeah. Too bad Martian Manhunter isn't there.
Yeah.
He could do it.
Anyhow.
Sorry.
Next project in the Birdies on the Wire bag. Since I seem to be working through my notes backwards, we're going to continue in this pattern. This is the All That Glitters, which is my Hitchhiker by Martina Baim. I'm using Expression Fiber Arts Sparkle Soft Fingering in the colorway Joy to the World, and I forget the name of the colorway of the red sparkle that will be used after I run out of this
The
yarn.
one you bought from Portugal or wherever it was from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only worked about a row or two. One when I worked on this mostly when we were waiting for our food at Logan's Run.
Yeah, I went to Logan's Run for Father's Day yesterday. Because we do
Wolverine
everything
has a restaurant.
Yes. We want to... Actually, it's not Logan's Run. Logan's Run is a movie.
What's it
It's
actually
Logan's
called?
Roadhouse.
Oh.
Logan's Run is a movie from like 1970, I think.
I've never seen it.
It's got Michael York and Farrah Fawcett. And
The only reason why I call it Logan's Run is I think you guys do.
Yeah, it might even qualify, Mary, for one of your bad movies. It's called Logan's Run. It has some interesting, not philosophical, but kind of questions about, in case you aren't aware of it, of, you know, how long is too long for people to live and things like that, and population issues and things like that. So it's called Logan's Run in case you're interested Mary or anybody else, but I know Mary does that bad movie thing.
Yeah. Would you consider it a bad movie, though?
I'm not sure. I like it, but then again, I have a tendency to like
Weird things.
weird things. Yeah, I mean, I like Buckaroo Banzai.
I am strange and
unusual.
unusual.
10 points for anyone who can guess the movie reference.
Okay, so this is The Hitchhiker.
Well, that turned out pretty.
It's gotten a little bit of work. This generally gets only a little at a time.
It looks a bit like chainmail from here. If you look this way into the screen, it looks a bit like chainmail.
Mm-hmm. And a part of it's because of the silvery tone. And the shine.
My tea is getting cold. I need to go back to my other cup.
But you had to drink out of that.
I did.
Okay, so this did get some work on it. Slowly but surely.
Okay, are you done with that particular one?
Yes, and this is a Ploverbird bag.
Okay, in my Ploverbird Owl's bag, this is a medium bag, and if you've been watching this, you've heard this ad nauseum that Davina gave it to me for Christmas, but I'm very proud of that because she knows I like owls. So she got me this bag. And this is my handbrake by Kay and Dan Jones, and I did some work on it.
Now, what happened to it?
I have a little tiny hole in here that Talia tried to help me fix, and we just decided that it's going to be a design element.
Somehow or another, she increased several rows back, and we could have easily fixed it if we had
completely
tinked back to that point.
I didn't want to.
If I tried unpicking it and just fixing it that way, but it just left her stitches very loose and icky looking. So
it's easier to have this, and this is going to be mine. I mean, this is a learning experience for me. It's mine, and if it was a gift, I would have either tinked it back or had Talia help me tink it back if it was too difficult to go that far back by myself. Mm-hmm. But I would have fixed it somehow. This is just mine, so this particular handbrake, and I will do this again. Maybe not in the long version, but I will do this again because I really like it. But I didn't want to risk tinking back and having to do it all over again because I'm not casting on 220 stitches again after doing all this work. But I love the pattern. I really do. It's simple enough that I can do it, but it's got enough interest with the little pearls that I don't get bored. And I'm not one of these people who, I think it was Wendy from what's her name? I can't think of her name. I'll have to go look it up so Talia can link it. But she's from the Knit One Heart Two podcast, and she was saying that things that are mindless can sometimes drive her crazy because it's just, I guess she's not that kind of person. Some people really like that kind of relaxing. Some people like a little more challenge. Some people like a lot of challenge. I got the feeling that maybe she was somewhere in between. And
Davina, wait, we're podcasting. Hold on.
Okay, hold on. We have to give her medicine. I'm sorry. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. She really did have to take her medicine. So, but anyway, she was this lady Wendy from I think her name is Wendy from Knit One Heart Two was saying that, you know, for her something that would just be like, I guess what I got out of it was rows and rows of like stockinette or something, or the same
pattern. Well, that's
pattern.
why stockinette zombies are called stockinette zombies.
Right. Well, she was saying that. I think she was talking about the Hirdafute, that I guess the pattern, she loves the sweater and everything, but I guess the repeats and stuff kind of
drive her crazy.
Were a little bit mind-numbing for her. And that, you know, but she said that Megan, I think it's Megan who makes it, Megan or Amy, one of the two of them make it, and they made several, and they love it, and that just indicates the differences. This, for me, is perfect because I'm a new knitter, so it's got a whole bunch of repetition, because I don't mind repetition, but it also has a little bit of interest. And I think Kay is a fabulous designer anyway. Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to making her Messalina.
Oh, I love Messalina.
And this is saying something when, like I said, Kay and Tanya Marie have been instrumental in getting me to get a little bit past my fear of knitting, to the point where I'm driving Talia crazy because I don't know how to fix anything.
You drive me crazy anyway.
But actually, I started that all by myself.
Yes, you did.
And I fixed some things all by myself. It was only when I got to the hole that I didn't know how to fix it.
By myself. Do myself. Okay. Next one I'm going to talk about is Obsidian. Alright, Sammy, you need to let go of that.
Sammy, not
Mhm.
Sam.
I called her Sammy.
Sam.
Sammy, leave it alone.
Sam is a hobbit.
I didn't
Or
call
a-
her Sam, I called her Sammy.
Or a blonde from Stargate.
Okay. So, this is Obsidian, which is a calligraphy cardigan by Hannah Fettig. I'm using Miss Babs Yazaway skein in the colorway Obsidian. And this is in my Silver Shed Bat Signal bag.
I love that bag. It's so cool.
It is. So,
And the project matches it.
yes, it
Matchy
does.
matchy.
Although
Although your waist yarn should have been yellow.
I didn't have that available at the time
Should have been yellow. You failed.
because I split for the sleeves while I was at work.
Failure.
And at the time I wasn't working and it was yellow.
Failure.
So I'm in the middle of a row.
It's looking really pretty. Wow, you made a lot of progress. At first I thought this was the bottom ribbing.
Oh no.
Does it go back this way?
Yes, it does. Last week I tried it on. I'm not much farther. Because usually this gets worked on when I have time at work, and I didn't have time at work.
It's very pretty.
So, thank you. I do enjoy working the sweater. Although, if I'm tired, it might not be a first choice because straight stockinettes might put me to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I love it. And this is good TV knitting.
The problem with
And actually knitting while you're reading as well.
the problem with something like that, at least for me, whether it's stockinette or if it's like her toys sometimes or straight single or pattern, is I forget to mark off my rows.
Well, this right here is measurements.
Well, that's good. That measurements, I prefer measurements because first of all, my gauge isn't always the same.
But for toys, I don't think measurements work as well.
No, I don't either. But I forget to mark off my rows. At least with crochet, I can pretty much rip back anything I need to. Okay, my next project is from this designer crochet book. This is Shannon Mullet Bowlesby's new book.
Sorry, Shannon, because we podcasted a day early, I didn't get a chance to work on the sweater.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to work on it as much as I wanted to because we were podcasting early.
Because not only a day early, it's also
In the
much
morning.
earlier than
Yeah.
when we do it in the morning.
And this is the beginner cardie. I'm trying to find a picture of it. I should mark it. Okay, that's this pattern here is the one I'm doing. The beginner cardie. Shannon's book is fantastic. I hope that the person who won it is enjoying it. Oh, it's in my Star Wars bag, my AT-AT bag, which is on my lap, because apparently I don't remember where I put things. But anyway, I did do a couple of rows. Oh, this is not my right bag. It's not in my AT-AT bag. It's in my other.
AT-AT bag.
I knew it was in my Star Wars bag. It's just not my AT-AT bag. It's in my
And
Star
the
Wars.
AT-AT.
I don't know, what are these like?
Well, you have the Rebel Alliance symbol,
Oh, I thought so. Okay.
and that's the Imperial symbol.
Okay. This looks like a washer. You know when you stick it in something. Okay. I did a few rows. It's hard to tell that I've done rows, but I have. I've done about maybe 6 or 8 rows. I try to do at least a couple rows every day. I didn't quite meet that goal this week because I had a lot going on, but it has grown, and you can see the pattern there now.
Yours is growing a lot faster than mine has.
Yeah.
Of course, it helps when you work on it.
Yes, it's amazing how that happens.
It's just that I can't work the fingering weight very long.
This is Cascade 220 Sport, Superwash Sport, and this is a fairly loosely plied yarn, but it's not as bad as I thought it was. I'm looking at it now in terms of being a little splitty. It is splitty, but not a whole lot. And I thank Sue, who is Family Diva, for her suggestion. I didn't think about changing hooks, and if I can find another hook that still has the handle, the special handle on it, I might do that if I continue to split. But I need to have something like this, like Crochet Dude or like this one here, because my hands start hurting if I use a regular hook. So I will work with it and do what I can. You guys are great for for suggestions and for help. We learn so much from you guys, and we really appreciate it. So it is in my Star Wars symbols bag, and it is a Silver Shed extra large. Yeah, I think this is an extra large.
Yeah, I think so.
The 1X. And the yarn is Cascade 220 Sport.
I need to get a picture of my
That was yarn
Selena.
support. I have to get pictures of a lot of things. My project page has all these in progress and soon to come.
I don't have a picture of your Diana's hat.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
And I don't have a picture of Messalina. And I don't think I have a picture of my winter hat from last year.
Yeah, I don't have pictures of a lot of things.
Well, I'm not so good about doing whip pictures, but for my toys, I'm really good about doing FO pictures.
Yeah.
But anyway.
What's your next one?
Next one is the nighttime reading shawl, better known as the horse blanket shawl.
The whole plop?
I'm getting really tired, guys.
Oh. I know that Blair is going to say, stop pestering your daughter. Oh, no, not Blair usually is on my side. It will be Margie, what's her name? Margie Beth. Yes, Margie Beth will be saying, stop picking on her. Yes.
Okay.
Hi, Margie Beth. Hi, Blair.
So, thinking. Here.
A dangerous pastime, I know.
That could have been dangerous right
Yes,
there.
it could have been.
Okay, so this fell down, which wasn't supposed to.
What was it? Oh, that, yeah.
Okay, so in my Silver Shed Froggies bag, this is my first Silver Shed bag. I have the horse blanket shawl. Am I in the middle of the row? Why wouldn't I be?
Of course you are.
Because this is my TV knitting. A lot of times as soon as we turn off the TV,
My husband looks like this. That looks like it's going to be awfully scratchy.
I'm like, yes, I realize this.
He's very supportive of our.
Yes.
He teases us a lot, but he's very supportive.
He picks on you more than he picks on me.
Yeah.
He says my toys are ugly though.
Well, he says the toys are fine. He just doesn't like the eyes. He wants them to stick out of their heads.
But well, it's curling, but I'm still in the decreases. You can't really see it at a good view, and I'm too far along to knit down the row. And I don't care right now.
What stitch mark is this?
That is my CJ Knits.
I like those.
Oh, she does amazing stitch markers. She's my favorite.
Does it ever get caught on the yarn?
No,
I get snagged sometimes. I like it when
I love
snagged.
her muchly. She does great stitch markers. A vast majority of my stitch markers are hers. Actually, I use her almost exclusively.
Except for the Autism Awareness ones. Yeah.
So, sorry you guys don't get to see this one very well this time, but
Well, they've seen it a gazillion times.
yes, there's where it's, you know.
I love the color.
It's a lovely
just,
color.
It's just such a homey, comforting kind of like I want to cuddle up and.
Yes, and I can't wait till it's done and I have it for cuddling up with. I have a feeling it might make a good nap shawl too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just curl up with it because it's gonna be huge. So, and I'm going to let it stretch as much as it wants to stretch when I wash it.
Excuse me. So you done with that one?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I think it might be time
of
for my
Silver
last
Shed.
piece of chocolate.
Silver Shed bags today. This is my Star Wars AT-AT bag, as I said. This is the 1S,
18.
and it is Silver Shed by Anne Brody. And in it is my new project. Well, I guess it's not new. You've seen it before. My Thoughts and Prayers shawl project from the Bowls Wrap, patterned by Gina Lynette. And I'm using a G-hook with the Flock Brazonas hand-painted sock yarn in the Faith colorway. How appropriate is that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping you can see the color in this. I didn't really get a good idea until I brought it out of the house and was working at it on the bookstore and at the doctor's office. This colorway is so pretty. I don't know if you can see.
They can't.
You can't. It looks purple right now, but it's got blues and teals in it too, and it's absolutely
really quite
gorgeous.
lovely.
And it's grown a lot. This is what I was working on because I had doctor's appointments and things like that. And so, don't do that. You're gonna break my pretty shawl.
I'm not gonna break
You're
it.
gonna break its pretty heart. I really like this. I've done this. If you haven't been with us for very long and you haven't seen my Remembering Miss Marshall shawl, you can check the project page to see what this looks like. I made it's called Remembering Miss Marshall. I made this in Socks That Rock medium weight, which is slightly bigger yarn than this. Turned out huge, and you can see what it looks like finished. Or you can go to her project page. The designer is Gina Lynette. And she gifted me this this pattern. I liked it, and I was the first one to like it, and she surprised me with it. I was so happy about it, and it took me forever to make it because I didn't have the right yarn. Now I know to work with it, and it comes out very nicely. And I'm about this far through my first skein. I have 2 skeins of this, so it's going to be
And what's the yarn again?
Flock Rosonas in the
Yes.
Faith colorway.
And Flock Rosonas just does a very good job.
They do. I got this at Shenandoah last year, so I'm going through Stash. I'm trying to go through Stash so I can justify making a few purchases over at Shenandoah in September.
I've done a Diana's hat and a Zeus Petals from their yarn, and it was the same colorway, the Malcolm colorway. I tend to prefer their silk as well.
Mm-hmm. I just like the way their stuff works up. It works up very pretty, and they do have samples, although they don't always have samples that are crochet. They usually have knitted, so I can get an idea of what it looks like.
Right.
Is that the one they don't have a presence on the internet yet, right?
They do not.
And
And
they're
their
only at
and the
Shenandoah.
husband usually comes to Shenandoah.
Yeah,
The wife
yeah.
stays.
Yeah, she does the dyeing, but he does the
Sell it.
and maybe she goes to some of the other fairs, but he's the only one who's been at Shenandoah.
Yes. And
And,
we've seen him a couple years in a row.
He's one of our must go-tos.
Yes.
When we go to Shenandoah, we usually hit Dragonfly
I have
Fibers.
to buy at least one thing from him.
Yeah, we usually hit Dragonfly Fibers first.
And he's so nice.
Oh, he's very sweet. He really is.
If you ever make it to Shenandoah, make sure you stop by Flock Rosonas.
Yeah.
Because that's the only place where I've been able to find their yarn.
Laura from Laura Smoot Designs, if you, I'm so happy you're going to be going to Shenandoah.
Indeed.
If you go to Shenandoah and you haven't stopped at Flock Rosonas before, or even if you have, make sure you stop by him. I think
And
you'll
there's
like his
usually
stuff.
not that much of a line.
No, he's kind of a well-kept secret.
Yes, he
Yeah.
is. And he's just so nice, and his yarn's so pretty.
And it's nice to work with.
Yes.
So the color, his wife is a good dyer.
Yes.
The color variations are very subtle. And I was very surprised at it when I got it in the light, because like I said, it looks like I'm working either a dark blue, dark purple, or even a black, depending on what light I'm in. But if I go into sunlight or really well lit, like a bookstore or something like that, you can see the actual colors. Okay,
I actually like this orange and yellow combination.
it's very pretty.
There you go.
All you need is a little red right up here so you look like a match.
So, the last one that I have to talk about is in the Creepy Llamas bag. Allison, I worked on it. Only about 2 rows this time around.
She was working on it, I think it was last night. She said, "Now I can tell Allison I worked on it. I have to tell Allison I worked on it."
Fisherman's Cardigan, which is a Sarah pattern by Jennifer Hagen.
Allison, did you realize you were a slave driver?
Oh
We love Allison too. Allison can take the hit.
yeah, totally.
She made the cutest little, what was it? The shawl. Her daughter was holding, I think it was her daughter, was holding the shawl like this, and it was a rainbow shawl. And it was so cute. I'm like, I want to say, well, that's really cute, and the shawl's nice too. But I didn't. The daughter's adorable. And the shawl is beautiful.
Using Barocco Comfort Chunky in the Barley colorway.
I love this. This is going to go in my closet.
Yeah, right.
Mine. All mine. She can make another one, right? Blair, you said that she should make me one, right?
You're presuming that I listen.
You don't listen to anybody. Why should you listen to Blair? She doesn't listen. It bounces off the nothingness in between her ears.
Sweet.
Flick.
Flick.
La 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 la.
Doing it with the, it's the wrong hand. No, there we go, like that.
La la la.
So,
I love Baymax.
I love this sweater.
It's a Baymax sweater?
What?
There you go.
Is it gone?
Yes.
Okay. So yes, I do enjoy working on this. I actually sometimes work on this when I'm a little bit tired, because then the complicatedness of the cable. What?
I love this.
Oh yeah.
You know, something like this.
And hang on, what she's showing you is
The cable here. I know I'm interrupting a little bit, but it reminded me of something that I think it was Sue who was doing those Alzheimer things.
Mm-hmm.
Sue, would something like a cable work for that? I mean, if you had those little things with the buttons and all that, if you put a cable, would they like to play with something like that? I've been thinking about doing some of this stuff, and I was wondering, would a cable be workable for something like that? Do you think?
it's her idea that you make a blanket or something and it has little bobbles and things for them to play
Right.
with.
It reminded me of a busy box, but
Mhm.
in cloth, you know, for kids. So I guess
It's a good idea because they do.
they tear at their hair, they tear at their skin.
What I've noticed even more than the tearing at the hair and skin. Well, you notice tearing at the skin,
Yeah.
they'll scratch a lot, and they'll pick at things in general. Just very much little busy.
So to keep their hands, busy, and I think,
Of course, in the hospital, we tend to have a lot more things that they could pick on that we don't want them to pick on.
Right. Well, that's why something like this is good too. I
Yes.
mean, so they keep their hands busy. I don't think they're doing it to be obnoxious.
No.
And
No. It's confusion.
And I did have a question while we're on this, and then you can get back to the sweater, Sue, about the buttons. Do you actually are the buttons meant to open up to something, or do they just like to play with the buttons? Do they actually like to button things? And I'm fairly ignorant about Alzheimer's.
Well, I think it doesn't hurt to have buttons that you can button and unbutton. It gives, a lot of times in the hospital, we will give the women in particular stuff to fold.
Right.
And you see this more in nursing homes even. You're doing the laundry and you give them stuff to fold, or even if you don't need it to be folded, give them stuff to fold, and then they feel like they're
useful.
Well, it harkens back to where a lot of times they don't see themselves as being 80-something years old or 90 or 100 or whatever.
Of course.
In their heads, they're still like 20, 30 years old. Which is why you hear instances of little old guys who will cry because they think that someone might go after their 80-year-old wife who in their head is actually like 30 years old.
Right.
But
because that's something that interests me as my parents get older. Not that they have Alzheimer's or anything, God willing, they won't have to deal with that, but just older people in general, the population's getting older, and I thought that might be something that it seems like people hit the baby stuff, they hit that kind of stuff fairly regularly. You don't hear a lot about things that can be done for people with Alzheimer's and things like that. So I'm interested in that. Sue, any kind of information, I don't know when I'll be able to get a hold, do something like that, or where I would do it. I have to find out, but I'd like to have the information in terms of what you put on this available.
And I'm sure I could broach to the hospital if you found that you had some stuff, Mom, because they already have a volunteer thing. Now, for our hospital, they have to have, they have to make sure that you're up to a certain health level so you aren't, like, giving people germs and that kind of thing.
Sure. Yeah.
But I don't have to go through that because I'm a worker there. And they,
you mean they have to do, like, a screening for me?
But they, when I mentioned you might make some of the toys, when I was talking about toys in particular, for babies, they said that you didn't have to go through it either because I guess because you're related to me. I don't know why.
Right. Well, yeah, and I don't know. Well, that's good because I'm tired of needles being stuck in me right now. Anyway, even though the lady who gave me a stick this last time was really good.
But we are digressing.
We are digressing.
Oh, but you do need to give people updates. Maybe?
Yeah, I'll do that at the end.
Okay.
I'll do it at the end.
But that's all for the sweater.
Yeah, and autism awareness. I'm sorry, there's no real facts this time. We're a little tired because of what's going on. We'll have probably something at the end of the podcast. I did get a very nice message from somebody. I don't want to name this person because I don't have permission. Suffice to say, she knows who she is, and the little note almost made me cry because it was such a sweet note saying how much some of the facts had helped her. And we've had a couple of those this time around, and we would do this anyway, but it's really nice, and it makes us happy to see that we've been able to help somebody, maybe even beyond awareness that something was done or something was caught or something because of something that we said, and they said, oh, let me check this out. Because what we say, we're not doctors, we're not anything like that, but you're a nurse. I'm a teacher. Doesn't mean I know everything. I can't diagnose someone I don't know. And so we're just putting the facts out there. But if you go and you look at something and you say, oh, this looks familiar, and you go talk to a doctor, or you go to an educational person and are able to get the ball rolling for something and catch something or get something in place, that makes us happy because we want to help people and we want to make people more aware. And so this person, I want to thank her especially because I felt that particular podcast was very disjointed. the stuff that she mentioned was from last week, and I felt that I was very disjointed giving it because I just kind of pulled stuff from the internet, from a source that I knew was reputable. So thank you very much for that. I have one more project. It is a project that cannot be shown. It is a platypus. This is Rascal the Platypus, and it is in my autism awareness bag by Knitting's My Bag with Lois. It's her large sweater bag. I cannot show you, but I'm making a lot of progress on it. And this is Franciscan Gypsy Design. What's it called? Rascal. What's it called?
We'll talk about that later.
Okay. Okay. So I don't know. So that's goes there. Okay. And I don't want to give you any information on it because it is in testing. All right. FOs?
You first?
Me first. Do you want me to do both of them first?
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, my first FO wasn't even on the... Oh, I guess it was on the hooks. I did show it.
Was it? I can't
Yeah,
remember.
it was. This is in my Knitting's My Bag small sock bag, Faith, Hope, and Love. And it is the Sunshiny Day Beret.
Davina wore it.
Davina wore it to Mass. I made sure she gave it back to me. This is a really nice pattern by Kim Guzman. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is by Kate Alvis. It's a bobble slouch beret. Now this, and I wish I had my notes. Oh, maybe I can find it. Hold on, let me see. I want to tell you something about this.
Show me small.
No, it's not on my show notes. What I wanted to
You're
show.
killing me, Smalls.
It'll be just a second. Just if I
Killing me.
deal with it.
Figuratively.
I can do that. Okay, there it is. All right. This, okay. I did what I used cotton. Okay, it doesn't say what to use, what yarn to use. And cotton, anybody knows, is not very stretchy. But I thought the fact that I was using the hook given with the yarn given my gauge would make it just fine. Cotton doesn't work well with this pattern, okay? It doesn't have enough give. I omitted the last slip stitch part of this band, and it just barely fits Davina, but see, there's no stretch to it. So if I do it again, it is a nice pattern. I like the pattern. I will do it again. But I will use regular yarn, and I might actually use the hook given as opposed to, I think I did use hook given. Anyway, I will be changing it a little bit in terms of, to make it stretchier. But I like it a lot. And it's done. Okay, one more FO, poke.
Hi.
The other FO has not been blocked yet. It is in my Knitting's My Bag Angel Bag.
The chocolate's all gone.
And this is my, I'm trying to get to where I can see my notes again. Seriously?
Seriously?
Okay, there we go. This is my Between Friends project from the Friendship Shawl pattern by Kim Guzman. And I used an eye hook and Lion Brand Wool Ease solids, heathers, and twists in the
I
fishing
didn't
and
realize
colorway.
you finished that. Yay.
It needs to be blocked.
Does it really?
Yes, it does. It's a little wider on the edges than
Okay.
this. Just a little bit. I'm not going to block it heavily, but so it is finished. You can see. And I was thinking I have a lot left over. Apparently I misjudged. I'm not putting the fringe on it. It has a fringe. I don't like fringe. I'm not a fringe girl. So I think I might make a hat and a pair of fingerless mitts to go with it, maybe. It's really pretty. I was thinking about maybe giving it to my mom, but I might keep it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's pretty. I like it. So it is finished.
Very pretty.
I enjoyed it immensely. The only part that was a little difficult for me was picking up the stitches. Even that's why my edges are a little wider than they should be, and the blanket kind of bows a little bit on either side.
It's not a blanket.
I mean, the shawl kind of bows a little bit on either side. My
That'd
husband
be
said,
a really bad blanket.
Yeah.
I mean, as in, like, it wouldn't cover anybody.
no, my husband said, I thought you were going to make a sweater out of that. I said, no. Look how pretty that looks folded.
It's very pretty. You
I
dropped your show notes.
No, I didn't. I dropped the names.
That's what I meant.
So that's my last FO. Let me pick that up and Talia can show you her FOs.
Let me go and reach and get mine. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm coming down really hard now. Come here.
Yes, she's getting the FOs that are FOs.
Okay. So, if you've been on Ravelry already today, you've probably already seen this. But my new pattern is now in testing. All the slots have been filled.
Filled up real quick.
Yes, it did.
Yay.
So here is the new pattern. This is the one I wanted to show you last week. This is Mike the Platypus. It is really appropriate that he is available for testing today because it was my dad's suggestion that I design a platypus. It is named after him, and his release date for the pattern to be available to everybody will be my dad's birthday because it's about a month and a half after Father's Day. So it just happened to work out that way. So here is Mike. He's
cute.
Really cuddly.
He's a playful guy. He's a playful guy.
And
I don't want his tail on my face.
There he is. He's quite long. So you get a general idea of how big he is.
Nice and squishy.
So he was done last week, but I didn't have the videos for the pattern done at that point. I finished the videos for the pattern with this big guy. Okay.
This is Beluga.
It's okay, Grayson. This is also the Mike the Platypus pattern.
I love him. He's cute.
This is the one that I use for the videos. Mike was made with Knit Picks, Bravo worsted. I used some Stash Hobby Lobby.
That's why he's so much bigger.
That's why he's so much bigger.
Hobby Lobby stretches really a lot.
And it's a thicker yarn.
Is this black or navy blue?
Black.
Okay.
Because this is what I consider Nightwing blue for the main body, and I had black, and black is what its actual uniform color is. So, and that character is Blue Eye. So, this one is mine because no one else is gonna want a big blue platypus.
I have a blue platypus upstairs.
But he's mine, and actually, when we get done with podcasting, I will probably take a nap with him.
Yes. Maybe she'll leave Toby alone now.
No, Toby will still be my pillow.
My Toby is getting all squished.
He's getting loved.
Squished. Oh, poor guy's getting so squished.
His head is not my fault, though. His head was like that before.
You're squishing it.
His head was like before. He's so loved. She offered to give him to me.
Not anymore. Now he's mine.
No. Also, he's more of use to me over here.
Mine.
But
a menagerie.
So, 2 platypi done.
Platypus.
I probably would have gotten it done a lot quicker if I hadn't had to work.
Darn that work. Okay. Moving on because we have to get finished up here. Royalties. I only have one royalty, and it's not really crochet related or knitting related. I am in a creativity mood where I want to write and do other things. I'm not an artist by any stretch of the imagination, but I think this will be a...
Don't worry, that person isn't either. Did you see that picture there?
Yeah, well, I can't even do that. I like this because it's very juvenile in terms of, not juvenile being kid, but being...
It's okay, we all know you're juvenile.
Easy stuff to do, like, kind of like follow the lines, and it's like prompts for artists, I guess. And I'm not really an artist, and nobody's really going to see it. I'm hoping that it'll help spur my designing in terms of shapes and colors once I can figure out how to do it. I almost picked up one of the series where that lady who does the Wreck This Journal books, she has one about your fantasy world. And I guess you take your town and you make it a fantasy world. I thought I could do something with my writing, but I thought I could do that without. I mean, I'm hoping that this looks like it might be fun. So that's what I got.
Definitely not my thing.
And I may have picked up some yarn, but it's not here yet, so it's not a stash enhancement.
So, next is, well, I have my stash enhancement. We talked about the mug. That was picked up yesterday. And then, Dean Jones. This is your fault. Saw this at the bookstore. Six Wives of Henry VIII by Alison Weir. And I am 43 pages in. As you can see, that's barely a dent in this book. It's quite a
Now,
large
is Alison Weir a man or a woman? I think it's a man.
one. I can't remember. I know.
I think Alison was one. Well, no, that's not completely true.
Let's see. She.
Oh, it is a she. Okay.
The other one of hers I want to read is The Wars of the Roses.
That's an interesting time period.
This
would be fun too. Elizabeth and Alan. She had a lot of different books.
Yeah, most of them are during this particular period.
That might be her area.
Now she has some that are novels, and I'm not as interested in the novel ones. I'm more interested in the ones that are actually history books, like this one is. I mean, this still has the feel of a novel, but without being actually historical fiction. I just don't feel like reading historical fiction right now. Since it's just very well written, it's an easy read.
You need to finish up your Sword of Shannara series so I can get out.
I know, I am about 72% through.
Okay, because I'm reading Sherlock Holmes and I love Sherlock Holmes, but I'm really missing the fantasy.
Yeah. But I'm making it through.
Okay, is that all your royalties?
That's all my royalties.
Okay. Okay, I guess we're going on to autobiography.
I have design news.
Oh, okay, is that the last thing though? Or is that when do we do design?
Autobiography, the last thing.
Oh, okay.
Still for the design news, all proceeds from Franciscan Gypsy Designs patterns will be going to Autism Speaks until the end of the month. When August starts and the Autism Awareness Cal ends, I will give all the proceeds of patterns bought during this time period to Autism Speaks. And I have a decent amount that's going to be going there.
Okay, that's great. That's awesome.
I think right now it stands to somewhere around $80. And since my patterns only cost $2-3, that's saying something about y'all's support.
That's great. That's awesome.
Let's see. I also, Knitpicks has an independent designer partnership program where they either give you yarn support and or promotional support. I submitted Mike, the platypus, to that, and also the new pattern that I'm starting to design. So we'll see if that gets accepted. That could be a big break to get my patterns out there a bit, since I do use a lot of Knitpicks for my designs.
Knitpicks is a good yarn for designing.
It is.
Yeah.
But that is all from the design news.
Valeria?
Plus, we know that Mike's in testing right now.
Valeria, you asked me on Instagram, I think it was, for the recipe for my pineapple upside down cake. If you want that, I need your email address. You can PM me your email address. Bubbles.
You think that won't do anything? There you go.
PM me with your email address. I will try to get it to you. I don't know when I'll get it to you, but I'll try to get it to you. It's a pretty standard recipe. I can send it to you. That's not a problem. I'm happy you like it enough to want it. I started in the writing. I started transferring some of my story notes for this new story that kind of popped into my head to a notebook. Actually, I finished doing that. I'm now trying to type it up so I can actually start writing it. I have the characters. The problem is I have a couple stories running around in my head, and now I want to go back. I had put the novel that had been accepted for publication and in the place folded. I had put it on the back burner because it was driving me crazy. If I looked at it again, I really want to get it out, so I think I might be pulling that out again and cleaning it up. I noticed that the copy I have has notes and things from when the other editors had been looking at it, and I also noticed places where when they change things it doesn't make sense. So I have to go through and do it again, and that's going to drive me insane, but I think I need to do it because I want to get it out there. I think maybe that's a block for me, that it's just sitting there. I did post an alternative prompt to the Percolator, which is my email writing group, and I finished a critique for my Writer's Village. So I did some writing, not as much as I'd like to, but I kept my hand in somewhat, so that's good.
I did very little writing, but mostly because I really wanted to get the platypus out this week. I was so close. I didn't want to tease you guys 2 weeks in a row. Read a little bit First King of Shannara before bed, but I've been so tired lately that it's been like just a little bit of sections at a time. The only reason why I got so much read for this is because while I was cooking, I was reading that. And during, well, you know.
Well, that's when I got my writing done, when I was cooking.
Also, been semi-obsessed with, I don't know if I talked about it last week. I think I did. Watching Gunsmoke ahead of time.
Right, yeah. And we're not talking about that.
No, because she doesn't like that.
I don't. I have a name.
She?
No.
She told me that too.
I knew you were going to do that. You're so predictable. Love.
I'm also really tired.
Anyway, I would have gotten more done, I think, but family constraints kind of got in the way. For some reason, my husband likes to spend time with me. So
Poor
go
baby.
figure. Go figure, right? Darn. No. So it's not a problem. It just kind of cuts into my creative time sometimes, and that's okay. I mean, creative time will be there when it happens. It's a little difficult to get anything done, but he comes first. We do want to thank Bella Sox Maria Wilhelmina once more for the prizes that they have given us. They donated almost a year ago.
The gift that keeps on giving.
And we have a few more from them, so that's good. That we're starting to finally hit the bottom of all that beautiful stuff they gave us.
Yes, and as much as I would like to get this podcast rolling, like actually loading after we're done and have you guys be able to watch it today, chances are as soon as we get off, I'm just going to turn off the camera and roll over and take a nap.
That's probably a good thing because she has to get up for the Father's Day dinner. And I need to get some stuff done as well. So I need
Darn.
I need to close this up. Last time I checked YouTube, we didn't have any comments for this last episode. I apologize if somebody posted after I last looked at it, and I thank you for posting your comments. We will read them when we see them. But last time I looked, which was I think this morning or maybe yesterday, there wasn't any comments on YouTube this time. So if you did comment this morning, I apologize for not seeing it. I do want to have a special thank you for Brittany, who sent me a very nice card telling me that she was keeping me in her prayers, and I had a nice message from her on the day of my doctor's appointment. The doctor's appointment, without going into a lot of detail, went fairly well. She was very encouraging. She did want me to have blood tests done for thyroid, but it came back fine. And it looks like, I guess it's a type of biopsy. I'm going to have to be done in July. It's a small needle aspiration, I think is what it's called. And so I'll be doing that. I think it's July 6th or something like that. She says I barely...
All aspirate means is,
Yeah. And she said she's going to poke me several times. She says she only has to poke one of them because it's the only one that's big enough. But I will keep you posted, and I do thank you for your continued thoughts and prayers. I thank you for your continued thoughts and prayers for my sister. We're still waiting on the pathology for her. Her recovery is going quite slowly but steadily. She had major surgery, and she's still using the walker and things like that, but she's feeling better. So that's good, and we, once again, your prayers have been very instrumental in that, I'm sure. And we are keeping everybody on the list who's asking for prayers. Even if we don't immediately answer, we do see them, and I put them in my book, even if I don't have a chance to write down, and we pray. So, and Davina is the biggest prayer warrior of all. I tell her everybody. So if you tell me privately about prayer requests, please let me know if I can tell Davina or anybody else so they can pray, because I don't want to tell. If I get a PM, I'm not sure if you don't want me to tell, Talia and Davina and my husband maybe, and we all pray for you. If you just want it to be for me, let me know, and I'll just keep it to myself. We don't tell anybody else. It stays in the family.
Yeah.
So just let me know what you prefer. I think that's about it.
Okay.
She's sleeping. I had to, I'm sorry I'm not as entertaining, but she's just...
I'm really tired.
Okay. So we want to thank you for joining us today. We wish you all a happy Father's Day, a happy weekend, and we bless you. We wish you a very blessed
Blessed.
week full of every good thing and the joys of knitting, crocheting, crafting, whatever it is you like to do. And this is Pen, Hook, and Needles Podcast, episode 160. We hope to see you next week, and that's a wrap.